Good morning, students. So, today we will discuss functions and their graph. Very important topic for chapter number 2, relations and functions. Very important. You have to learn how to draw their graph. You must know how to define them. You must know what is the domain and range of those functions. So, let us start chapter 2, some functions and their graph. Class 11th. Now, first of all, we'll start with identity function. Let R be the set of all real numbers. Define the real valued functions. F is such that R to R by Y is equal to Fx is equal to X. Fx is equal to X means whatever we insert for function, output will remain same. For F1, it is 1, F2, it is 2, F3, it is 3, and so on. For all real values of X, such a function is called the identity function. Here, the domain and range of F is R. The graph is a straight line passes through origin. So let us have this Cartesian plane which contains x-axis as well as y-axis. Here x-axis means domain line. Whatever we insert on x-axis, that is called domain, that is x. And whatever we write on y-axis, that is on codomain, that is called range. So for 0 we get 0, for 1 we get 1, for minus 1 we get minus 1. So whatever we insert for x, we have got the same result for y. So line will be straight and it is something like this. It will passes through origin. So this was the graph of identity function, which is domain real number and range is also a real number. Next is constant function. A function f is such that r to r, y is equal to fx is equal to c. C is a constant. Wherever we put any real value of x, we get the same result c. X belongs to r, where c is a constant and x belongs to r. Here the domain of f is r. R means real number and range is c. C is any value. Let us have an example of a graph in which we have constant as 3 by 2. So how we'll make it? Just see. It is a Cartesian plane, and if fx is equal to 3 by 2 means 1.5, then whatever we take the value of x, the result will remain same, 1.5. So the line will passes through 1.5 on y-axis like this. This is the graph of y is equal to fx is equal to 1.5 or 3 by 2. We can also draw the graph for any line parallel to x-axis. Example, fx is equal to 3. When it will be fx is equal to 3, it will definitely will passes through 3, that is 0, 3 point on y-axis. Now next is modulus function, which is very important function. The function f is such that r to r defined by fx is equal to modulus of x. You all know modulus gives us a positive values always. You are learning it from 6th, 7th class. So now we'll discuss the graph of this modulus function. We all know for each non-negative values of x, fx is equal to x. But for negative values of x, here we have to take minus of x to compensate that negative sign, so that it gives you the value as positive, like fx is equal to x when x is greater than is equal to 0 and minus x when x is less than 0. So this is a Cartesian plane. By fx is equal to x gives you a positive value always for positive domain. So the graph in very first quadrant will be like this, just like identity function. But for negative values, it will not gives you negative answers, but it gives you positive. So graph will not lies in third quadrant, but it will lies in second quadrant like this. So here we have a modulus function which always lie above x-axis wherever we have got positive values of y. Below x-axis we have got negative values of y. It will not exist there. So graph of modulus function is given in the figure. Now next is signum function. The function f is such that r to r, which is defined by fx is equal to 1 when x is greater than 0, 0 when x is equal to 0, minus 1 when x less than 0. You can write signum function as fx is equal to modulus x upon x, like that. So now let us draw the graph, but before drawing the graph, let us think about the domain of this function. Its domain is -1, 0 and 1, and the graph of signum function is given by the figure 4. See, this is the graph. For all positive values of x, it contains the same value y is equal to 1, and for all negative values of x, it contains y is equal to -1, and at 0 it is 0. This is signum function. Next is greatest integer function, very very important function. You can write it as GIF, and we have to denote it by square bracket. So it assumes that the value of greatest integer less than or equal to x. Such function is called the greatest integer function. By definition of greatest integer function, we can see that square bracket x, that is greatest integer x, is equal to -1 when x lies in between -1 to 1, -1 to 0. Here one thing which is very important, that x is containing -1. So that's why the result is -1. Similarly, in between 0 to 1 it contains 0. 1 to 2 it contains 1, and 2 to 3 it contains 2, provided 2 is inclusive and 3 is exclusive. For example, if we put x is equal to 1.5, the result will be 1. So greatest integer function means the greatest integral value which it contains, we have to write, and the graph of the function is this. Now to draw the graph, we have this Cartesian plane. We can take values from 0 to 1. When we take values from 0 to 1, it will not contain 1, but it contains 0. So the graph will be like this. In between 0 to 1, it contains 0. And in between 1 to 2, it contains 1. 2 to 3, it contains 2. And similarly, 3 to 4, it contains 3. Now let us move to negative part of it. -1 to 0. Obviously, it will contain -1 because it is lesser integral. So it contains -1. Similarly, in between -1 to -2, it contains -2. And for next part, in between -2 to 3, it contains -3, negative value. So this is the signum function, very very important. And now thank you. Please try some more functions you can see in your NCERT book, and try to draw their graph and learn their domain and range. Thanks a lot.